No, Your Honor, that's not correct. What counsel asked is, do you recollect telling the prosecution in your statements? And this is why I posed the objection. I said I don't recall seeing that anywhere. If counsel could point us to the statement, that would be fine.
Mr. King-Katwa, you will proceed on the basis of a screening note on what you need to do with the witness on the matter of screening notes.
I will pose the question one last time. Mr. Witness, do you recall telling the prosecution that you had gone to all the 210 constituencies in Kenya prior to the 2007 elections?
I recall I said I managed to travel in a number of constituencies, not the 210.
Now, Mr. Witness, in respect to Mr. Sang specifically, do you know whether or not he has any ownership of the KAS FM station?
I'm aware that he was a presenter, but not having ownership.
Thank you. And Mr. Witness, you appreciate that there is a difference between a presenter and a reporter, don't you? Sorry, Mr. Witness, if you could say that a little louder. I don't think it came in.
Yes.
And so when you refer to Mr. Sang as a presenter, you are being very deliberate as opposed to saying that he is a reporter, isn't it?
Presenter can also be a reporter.
Do you recall having encountered Mr. Sang at any occasion when he conducted himself as a reporter as opposed to being a presenter?
I never visited the station.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want to ask you a few more questions, then I play an audio. It is not your testimony that in any way Mr. Sang was part of the ODM Pentagon, is it?
He was not an ODM Pentagon member.
Mr. Witness, it is also not your testimony that Mr. Sang ever attended any ODM meetings as an ODM member, isn't it?
Yes.
Could you just be sure of that answer? Your answer, yes, is to say that he never attended any ODM meetings as a member of ODM, isn't it?
He never attended the ODM meeting as a member of ODM, but he could have attended a meeting as one of the media.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. It is also true, Mr. Witness, that you do not know what party Mr. Sang belonged in the period building up to the 2007 elections, do you?
I don't know the party he belongs to as individual.
Now, Mr. Witness, at various points in the course of your testimony, you suggested that you occasionally listen to KAS FM, didn't you?
was interested when one of our leaders had gone to any media, so I could try to follow up or try to know how he's reaching the people.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. And could you confirm that, to your knowledge, from time to time, Mr. Sang hosted people of different political divides, not only ODM?
I was only interested when one of the people being hosted in a station was from our party.
Mr. Witness, may I get your answer to the question I was asking you? Is it that you do not know that Sang hosted anybody from any other party, or that you did not listen to him when he was hosting any other party?
I did not listen to when he was hosting another party.
Now, Mr. Witness, your testimony was to the effect that Mr. Sang was in location of building number 1 on the day that you said. And I put it to you that you are mistaken, Mr. Witness.
I'm not mistaken.
Now, Mr. Witness, I want to show you, to play to you an audio showing that Mr. Sang was at KAS FM studio on the said date. Now, prior to doing that, I would like to ask you, did you say KAS FM broadcasted only to Rift Valley?
For the people he could reach, depending on the language which was the broadcaster often could use, mostly for the people understanding the language with which it was Rift Valley.
May I ask you, Witness, whenever Honorable Raila was campaigning at KAS FM, was he using Kalenjin?
I did not happen to follow up when Raila was at KAS FM.
And is it your testimony that the KAS FM station used only Kalenjin exclusively 24 hours?
I'm not aware of the KAS FM programs.
With your permission, Mr. President, I would like to play what is contained in tab number 40, KEN D11 0010 0004.
You say it is tab 40? What tab?
The tab is 27, the video, the audio.
Tab 27.
And Mr. President, I would like to play only 5 samples of the entirety of that audio, and I would request that that audio be counter-referenced with the translation which has been failed, which is KEN D11 0010 0003 at tab 40.
Tab 40, that's
Yes.
what I was asking for. Tab 40 is the transcript.
Yes, Mr. President, may I clarify that the audio is tab 27 and the translation is at tab 40.
Thank you. The audio then to be played.
Mr. President, I would like to initially ask that segment at timestamp 1.59 to 2.20 be played.
Avec votre permission.
With your permission, Your Honour, it would seem that the document 11001004, as mentioned by the Council, does not correspond with a video, but corresponds with the page of a transcript of a video, the second page of the transcript, with the reference D1100100003.
Mr. President, the reference is Ken D11 0009 0011.
Court officer, have you located it?
Yes, Your Honor, we will shortly be played.
FM in Kenya has the internet in Wayne. Merry Christmas in our festival. Jesus Christ was born on Christmas Day. And man will live forevermore because of Christmas Day.
Mr. President, I'd ask that
Can we pause this thing? Okay, are we listening to Christmas music or...
Mr. President, could we play at 155?
Okay.
Fine.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Kota pale jilu tukule imi tanga serta kono ngetunguno imakijita Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Not origu lakini Merry Christmas, Happy New Year and peaceful elections. Tarik kita maktisap. Not only on the more kungete studio kasarta kono ngunge chita na tai koyok not ko gongo ineba Christmas. Ingi studio lagi imi takpa sapita jemaswet kanerat.
That's all I wish to play at this moment, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, you could hear that. Did you hear that? Now, I would like to read to you the English translation of what was just said by the person who was speaking. Could you, even as I proceed to read, could you confirm that you recognize that voice as belonging to Mr. Sang, who you say you know?
The voice is over Masin and it's quite technical to know because of the sound can change.
So may I know, Mr. Witness, you say you can't recognize Mr. Sang's voice?
I can.
And do you recognize his voice from that clip that has just been played, that audio?
Yes, I can recognize.
And you confirm that is Mr. Sang's voice?
Yes.
Now, may I read you what Mr. Sang was saying? I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Kalenjin people, wherever you are. This is your opportunity to wish others a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So do come close. But before that, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and peaceful elections on the 27th. That is our message from the studio. The opportunity is yours. Mr. President, that is contained in page 1 of the transcript which I just referred to, Ken D11 00100004.
So what's your question to the witness on it?
Mr. Witness, from that you notice that Mr. Sang was actually at the studio on the said 25th December 2007, don't you?
It was at the studio.
Thank you very much, Mr. Witness. Now, Mr. Witness, I would like to move on to play another segment of the same audio, that is time 711, timestamp 711.
Mr. King in Katwa, would that be from the same broadcast?
Yes, Mr. President, please.
Mr. King in Katwa, perhaps one way we can proceed so we can make time is if it's taking time for the video or the audio to be pulled up, you can go to the transcript so we can deal with it and then come back to audio later if you must.
Mr. President, I would be very happy to do that. I will only ask them, I was going to play about 6 of them. I will only play only one, and if the court officer could listen to me, I would like to play 1900 to 1930, but I could proceed to the other beats as he locates that segment of the audio. Yes. Now, Mr. President, I would like at this moment then to go to page Page 9 of the transcript, the same document.
That's at 0009.
Yes, Mr. President. Sorry, it is Ken D11 0010 0012. Page 9. And if it could be displayed to the witness, I'll just go directly there. Mr. Witness, you can see that.
Mr. King Katwa, the information is that there is a technical problem. As you know, we've been having them today with the display. We will have to work around those and move forward. In most instances, as I've seen these examinations, cross-examination of this witness on these materials, these things would be a matter of putting propositions to the witness, and if you need later on to prove it, through other means, that may be done. But I'm not sure that we should only do everything through a witness on the stand in cross-examination. To put a proposition, if he answers the question, we move on. And if you need to call witnesses later to prove your proposition, you would have put your proposition to the witness. But would have been fair to him.
Mr. President.
So let's proceed without the audio for now.
Mr. President, I very much would like to play the one I've just said, 19 to 1930, and I don't mind coming back to it much later when they have managed to sort it out. Mr. President, may I request that if we have technical problems, if I could be allowed to give him a hard copy of the same transcript, I should be able to read from the screen myself. In that case, Mr. President, if he could be given page 7 of the transcript, it's actually page 9, Mr. President.
It is page 9 of the transcript, and I see that the ERN number is the one ending with 0012. Is that it?
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. President, is it the one 00100022? It should be 22, Mr. President. It should be 12. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at a different one. 12, yes, Mr. President. I apologize for that. Mr. President, I would like to take the witness to the first line of that transcript. And, Mr. Witness, you have that, isn't it?
Yes, I have a document here.
Mr. Witness, then I want to read the first 3 lines of the top of the page. And could you confirm this is what it says? Lillian Chelimo, she says she is from Ohio, has said, I wish all people of Kosirai a Merry Christmas together with our parents and siblings and friends. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
Yes, I'm seeing that on the paper.
Mr. President, the next page I would like to make reference to is, I will then ask one question in respect to all the issues I have in mind, Mr. President. I would like to move to page 19 of the same document, Mr. President, the page ending with 22.
And the witness has a copy?
If it could be given, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, you can see the part starting with thanks from Michigan. Can you see that?
Yes.
Now, could you confirm this is what it says? Thanks from Michigan, America. We have Justice Koech who says, "How are you, sir? I am very fine and happy this morning as we commemorate the birth of Jesus who came to save us." He says, "Thank you very much for the good work you are doing for the Kalenjin people. I want to wish all people from Kaboswa Nandi North a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I would also like to say this to all people. Please arise on 27. Remember only Arab Mibey, Koech for MP, and Hesbon Meto of for Councillor. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Justice Koech from Michigan abroad." You can see that?
I can see.
Mr. President, I would like to make two last references to that document. The same page 19, I have a second reference. Mr. Witness.
Mr. Kiginkatwa, did you give the interpreters your bundle as well of documents? I take it not. The reason I say that, when you read, remember the pace to read slowly.
I intend to go slowly, Mr. President. I apologize for that. Mr. Witness, you can see what is contained in the same page. Mr. President, I could skip that. I want to lastly make reference to page 12 of the same document. Page 12, which ends with 0015. If I could get assistance from the court officer. Mr. Witness, you can see the part that reads, all the way from Fukuoka, Japan. I, Fin Sablon Kimtai Chemolo. He says, great, and then great ever pleasure, that it is time of great pleasure to convey Christmas wishes to my brothers, including Elijah Kiprop, Kipkoech Ken, Kipchumba, and his sisters Peris Chebichi, as well as Chepkoril Chepkoech. He says, and also father to Lokori Chemolo. You can see that, witness.
I can see.
Now, Mr. Witness, from those transcripts, you can confirm that, in fact, KSFM broadcasted to Ohio, America, Michigan, and Japan, can't you?
Is he in a position to confirm where KSFM was broadcasting to?
Yes, Mr. President, and Your Honors.
Isn't even what the proposition in the document says.
Mr. Witness, you can see that?
Yes, I've seen it's reaching even people outside the country, from different countries. And for the listener, mostly for those people who get the KSFM, because if I can see the names, it goes Kimutai, it goes Koech, it goes Rono, it goes Chelimo.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. My question is that it goes beyond the Rift Valley that you said KSFM is limited to, doesn't it?
It reaches the people who might be abroad and they are from that region.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Mr. President, may I inquire from the court officer if he's been able to get the timestamp 19? Mr. President, I could ask a few other questions as I don't know what the court officer sorts out the issue.
Monsieur, il n'y a pas de problème.
Mr. President, there is no technical problem. We can play the video now.
The better option. Sidiana masharti kutumika. Mimi ni Raila Amolo Odinga. Mimi ningependa kuchukua fursa hii ya mwisho katika msimu hii ya sherehe ya Krismasi na mwaka mpya kuwania kila Mkenya na haswa wakaaji wa bonde la Ufa Krismasi mema zaidi na mwaka mpya yenye heri na fanaka. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Kongoi Arab Bibi.
Mr. Witness, may I ask you, can you recognize that voice? Just a minute, Mr. Witness. Mr. President, I don't have a translation for that bit of the clip. With your permission, Mr. President, may I extract confirmation of voice recognition from the witness? Mr. Witness, do you recognize that voice?
I recognize.
Could you tell the court whose voice that is?
It is similar to the one of Raila Odinga.
Is it Raila's voice or is it similar to Raila's voice, Honorable Raila's voice?
Mr. Kinkatwa, do you need that precise confirmation, or have you got enough similar to the voice of? Does it make a difference?
Of course, I'm hopeful that he will say it's Raila, but it's okay if he can't answer it. Mr. Witness, is it Mr. Raila's voice? And if it could help you, does it include the nickname given to him in Rift Valley?
I've heard a voice. Yes, I'm seeing. I've heard Rap Me Bay.
You now recollect that that was the name given to him in Rift Valley.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Mr. President, I would like to move on to document number at tab number 31, Mr. President. And if it could be put on the screen for the witness. And as it's being put on the screen, may I ask the witness a question? The reference is KEN D11 0009 0050. Mr. Witness, having held various positions in respect to what you used to do in the period around 2007, may I ask you, do you know the chief executive of CAS FM, one Mr. Julius Lamaon? You do not know him. I would like you to look at what has been displayed at the screen.
Mr. Kiginkatwa, this might seem unfair to you, but it is not. And the reason is, from now, I intend to do this thing differently. Yes, Mr. Ken had done that, and it was in the early days, as it were, but we wouldn't do it anymore. We would not be putting statements of other witnesses, of who could be other witnesses, to a particular witness to ask the witness on the stand to react, and that includes when the case for the prosecution, when the case for the defense is on. How we'll do it would be this. You put your proposition to a witness, they react to it, either accept or not. And then if you need to call evidence later to prove your proposition, which contradicts a witness, we will do it that way. And we will not be allowing all manner of witness statements to be put to a witness and asking the witness to read it and then react to it. That's not an efficient way to do it, and that is actually not the proper way to do it. So that's the ruling. Here, you take the sum of what this thing says, put it to the witness for him to react, and then we move on from there.
Thank you, Mr. President. But since the document has been displayed, could you allow the line to be drawn after I've taken him through this document, Mr. President?
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President. I really appreciate it. Mr. Witness, you can see the document that is displayed there. Could you confirm that it shows that it is it has the head CAS Media on the top right?
Yes.
Now, I would like to read the first 4 lines and just ask you one question thereafter. The first one says that the last day that CAS FM hosted William Ruto in 2007 was on 21st December. In the morning of 25th December 2007, Joshua Arap Sang was on air with Pastor Chemaswet, broadcasting Christmas messages and sharing Christmas greetings sent by listeners. Number 3, in the evening of 25th December, Joshua Sang was co-hosting a program with Kipyego Arap Tanui and closed with a statement signed by Kipyego Arap Tanui to this effect. And 4, neither the station nor Joshua Arap Sang hosted, interviewed or otherwise transmitted any interview of William Ruto on the 25th December 2007. Can you see that, Mr. Witness?
I've seen.
Thank you, Mr. Witness. Lastly, just before I ask you the final question is, could you look at the first line, the first paragraph of that letter and confirm this is what it says? As Chief Executive Officer of CAS FM, I have been requested to indicate whether William Ruto was hosted by CAS FM on the 25th December 2007. Can you see that?
Yes.
Mr. Witness, in view of this letter, together with the audio I've just played a moment ago, including the Christmas message from Honorable Raila, would you like to confirm that in fact it is true that Sang was at CAS FM station on the 25th December 2007 and not at the venue you said he was?
No, I don't think that's the only proposition. I don't want to put words into the witness's mouth, but I think it's a 24-hour day.
So, Mofada, you could have made that in your closing submission.
Thank you, Mr. President, for protecting me. Mr. Witness, would you like to confirm that in view of the audio that has been played, together with the letter I've just shown you, that in fact Mr. Sang was at the CAS FM studio on the 25th of December 2007 and not at the location you adduced the testimony as having been where he was on that same day?
From the document I've just been given and shown, it shows that Mr. Sang was at the station, but they have not indicated the time where he was, when he was talking with all these people were sending the messages. So I could agree he was in the station.
Mr. Witness, thank you very much for saying, confirming that from what you can see he was at the station. Mr. President, may I protest that part of the prejudice I have suffered from procuring the answer I wanted must be because of the intervention of Mr. Omofade?
Not necessarily, but move on, please.
Now, Mr. President, I would like at this moment to request to have the audio document, the translation, and the letter produced as Sang's exhibits. I hope the prosecution does not oppose.
Any objection?
If it's being marked for identification, we have no objection.
Mr. President, from all that has happened since we started this trial, the criteria has been whether it is relevant and the prosecution and whether it has property value. Additionally, the prosecution has maintained a posture that when it's a public document, it can be produced as an exhibit. Mr. President, I would be okay if the statement from Lamaon is marked for identification, but I would request that the audio broadcast and the translation be marked as exhibits, Mr. President.
Mr. Omofade, you should have no difficulty with that, do you?
Well, the translation, we always have the usual difficulties in terms of authentication. The audio broadcast, I can only provide the same caveat that I've provided previously. It might be a clip of a certain broadcast. We don't have the entirety. If the originals are going to be provided, then there's no difficulty at all.
So we will, Mr. Omofade, I believe you can deal with that sort of thing in your closing submissions if and chooses to rely on these materials. But I think the audio we will receive then as the next, and the transcript.
And the transcript. I hope
Yes.
the statement isn't
No, the statement, I'm not even sure we should mark it for identification, but I think we
that's a
can
separate matter.
be
Yeah.
generous and mark it for identification now. See what council decides to do with it later.
I'm obliged. Your Honor.
So, court officer, we will receive the audio clips and the transcript as the next in the Sang defense exhibit, and the statement of Julius Lamon would be marked for identification.
Oui, Monsieur le Président.
Yes, Mr. President. Document KEN D1100090011 is a public audio document. It shall be referenced EVD TD110001 and shall be Exhibit 1 for the Sang Defense Team. Document reference KEN D1100100003. A public document, a transcript, shall be identified as EVD TD110002 and will be exhibit number 2 for the Sang Defense Team. Third document, KEN D1100090050 is a public document. Will be referenced as MFI TD11 00003.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Witness, when I was inquiring from you whether in view of the audio and the letter you would wish to confirm that Mr. Sang was actually at the Kass FM studio and not at the location you said yes, he was at the studio, but with a rider that the time is not exhausted, didn't you?
Can you come again, Mr. Keegan-Cartwell? You need to put that question afresh.
Yes, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, I'll go slowly. You recall that I asked you whether in view of the audio and the letter, you would be prepared to now confirm that Mr. Sang was at the studio.
From the letters I've seen greetings messages from different people, and I don't know the specific time, and I don't know who was at the studio at that time when they were sending, because a message like that can be sent at any time wherever any other person is in the studio, or
Now, Mr. Witness, I wanted to ask you a different question. You had said that at a certain point in time on the said 25th December, both Mr. Sang and Mr. Ruto and Mr. Koske were together, didn't you?
yes.
Now, from the letter from Mr. Lamaon, you've seen that the station says that neither the station nor Mr. Joshua Arap Sang hosted, interviewed, or otherwise transmitted any interview of Mr. William Ruto on the 25th of December 2007. You've seen that, Mr. Witness?
I've seen the letter, but the request of this letter, I don't know it was requested from the station when.
Mr. President, I will move on to something else.
Please do.
Now, Mr. Witness, part of your testimony was that Honorable Raila was also in the situation where Mr. Sang and Mr. Ruto and Mr. Koske met. Isn't that what you had said?
Please, if you can just be precise on your question.
Mr. Witness, it was your testimony that a short while before Honorable Ruto, Honorable Koske met Mr. Sang, they had been with Honorable Raila, isn't it? Mr. President, in view of the difficulty of the witness, we could go into a closed session so that I put in context what I'm asking.
We will do that, but how much longer do you intend to spend with this witness? And before you answer that question, prosecutor, so far, do you see a need for any re-examination?
Mr. President, do you mean based on Mr. Sang's cross-examination alone?
So far, up until
certainly,
now.
yes, there will be need for some. It will be conservative as of now.
For how long?
20 minutes at the very most.
Because we are rising at 4. We will be inflexible on that, and the witness's testimony ends at 4 today, and he will be discharged. Mr. Keegan-Cartwell, let's go into private session.